Hey there, fellow adventurers, and welcome back to Balancing Unhinged, where we dive into the art of finding balance amid the whirlwind of our busy lives. I'm your host, Amber Shaw, the Shaw of Saint Augustine, and today we're taking a magical journey into the enchanting city of Saint Augustine, Florida. Let me just share a quick personal story. The first time I got here in St. Augustine, I went downtown with my family and we took one of those horse carriage rides. And I didn't know this, but it was actually a tour guide ride. So we went with the tour on the horse-drawn carriage. It was a little bit chilly in the month of October, I believe, in the late afternoon. And they had blankets on the carriage. So the driver was giving us blankets and then giving us a tour of St. Augustine. It was really cool. She was telling us about how Ponce de Leon was only 4'11" and now a lot of sailors were really short and stuff because they had to be short to be on the boats and get down underneath the boats and all that good stuff. So a lot of the people that came over here originally with Ponce de Leon, they were all sailors and warriors also, like soldiers. So they were all called Menorcans because they were like from the island of Menorca, Spain. And so there are a lot of Menorcans over here in St. Augustine, Florida. And I learned a little bit of the history when I first got here by going on one of those horse-drawn carriage rides through St. Augustine. I recommend it. You should definitely try it out. It was super cute. I was blown away by how much the tour guide knew about the city. And then we have these like little walls that are made out of shells from the beach that are called coquina. So she was telling us all about like the walls that were made out of coquina and all the battles that were here and all the flooding downtown and stuff like that. But in today's episode, we're going to explore the iconic landmarks and the lesser known treasures of this historic city. So grab your virtual travel gear and let's set off on this ride together. So we have top 10 well-known attractions in St. Augustine. So before we dive into the hidden gems, let's just take a moment to embrace the iconic attractions that make St. Augustine a must-visit destination. Just picture yourself wandering through time in like a European village as each location tells a story of its own. The Castillo de San Marcos. Imagine stepping into the oldest masonry fort in the continental United States, giant stones, and it's got 4 points. You can walk around the entire top of it, and then down the bottom, there are cells and offices and rooms, and you can almost hear the whispers of the battles fought and the bravery displayed. They have all these like cannons all over the place. And then stunning views of the Matanzas Bay. It'll just be breathless. It's amazing. You can see the intercoastal. It leads out into the ocean. Really cool, offering a glimpse into the past. Number 2, the St. Augustine Lighthouse and Maritime Museum. You can climb up to the top of the lighthouse and you can have this beautiful panoramic view of not only the north and east sides of Anastasia Island, but you can see towards across the Lions Bridge into downtown. So some of the most amazing photos I think people take are actually from the lighthouse looking towards downtown. So if you have like a really good camera, you can go to the lighthouse and you can take some really beautiful photos. It's amazing. I went to the lighthouse and they were closed for renovation, so I wasn't able to go inside, but I was able to walk around. They also have some museum-y type stuff for the Maritime Museum. You can see some of the history and get some of the information from them on how they used to make boats back in the day. And some people still make them now. When I was there, I actually was able to enter into a raffle to win a handmade, like whittled kayak that was lacquered and stuff. And it was made out of wood. It was a beautiful woody wood color. I don't know. It was brown, whatever. I'm not into wood. They said what kind of wood it was. I don't remember. But they had a handmade kayak and a handmade canoe. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I could win the kayak And they said if you put the name into the raffle, you just win whatever it is that you get. So I was like, oh, bummer. But whatever. So I entered into the raffle and I did not win, but it was still beautiful. And the lighthouse is definitely somewhere that you should go and take a look and just fill your eyes because it is breathtaking. The Flagler College downtown Saint Augustine was once the luxurious Hotel Ponce de Leon. That is like the main focal point, I think, of architecture in Saint Augustine. This architectural marvel boasts a stunning Spanish Renaissance style. You can wander through the courtyards outside, but it is a live college now. So you can walk around and see all these beautiful mosaics and statues and the architecture externally, but unless you're a student, they don't really want you inside. I actually went inside and I was walking around for a while. And then I asked somebody something, I forget, and they were like, oh, what class are you going to? And I was like, oh, I'm not a student here. And they were like, you need to leave. And I was like, oops. So I left. But, and then I was going to college a couple of years ago and it was not at Flagler, but I was a student and I didn't want to go to the public library. So I went to the Flagler College Library and then I was inside the library and I asked one of the librarians how I could get onto the Wi-Fi. And she was like, oh yeah, just put your student ID number. And I was like, what if I don't have one? She's like, why don't you have one? I was like, because I don't go here. And she was like, well, you shouldn't be in here. And I was like, damn it. So then I left. I'm always trying to get away with something. But anyways, the Fountain of Youth. Ooh, that is beautiful. I went there twice this year, actually, because my son is in second grade, my daughter's in fourth grade, and both of them had school trips there. So even though I've been here for 4 years, it was my first time going there, and that was really cute. It's a beautiful, enchanting park. It was believed to be the site of Ponce de Leon's legendary fountain. So whether you can wander through the beautiful gardens and witness historical reenactments, and let the serenity of St. Augustine's origins wash over you, as well as taking a sip of the water from the Fountain of Youth, which is why I still look so young, obviously, because I just took 2 cups of it fairly recently, so no big deal. And then the Old Jail Museum is... The Leitner Museum used to be a hotel, and now it's a museum. And it showcases fine decorative arts from the 19th century. You can wander through its stunning galleries and find tranquility in the exquisite courtyard where art and nature intertwine. The Leitner Museum is really cool. You can go inside, look around, and the courtyard right out in front is one of the most gorgeous courtyards. I actually made a video there doing a photo shoot of myself, like a selfie shoot rather, rollerblading around in circles with my dog. And that was a lot of fun. So pretty over there. And a lot of times there are brides and grooms out there doing wedding photos because a lot of people do weddings near the Leitner Museum and at the Casa Monica and other places downtown and O.C. White's and all that good stuff. Lots of places to go get married because it's such a beautiful place that so many people come back. And some people say that this is their favorite place to vacation. A lot of people come down here for Nights of Lights. The Leitner Museum has some beautiful lights during the holiday season because it's such a beautiful place. So when they illuminate it, it looks even better. All right. And then there's the Colonial Quarter. You can step back in time at this living history museum where you can experience life as it was in colonial St. Augustine, from blacksmithing demonstrations to traditional crafts. Immerse yourself in the rich tapestry of this beautiful city. And one fun thing about St. Augustine, frequently you'll see random pirates just walking around, people that are dressed up like pirates. There are like all these pirate groups. And then the Gator Farm, the Alligator Farm and Zoological Park. It's a fun-filled day awaiting you at this wildlife park featuring alligators, exotic birds, and other fascinating creatures. It's a perfect spot for families and wildlife enthusiasts, offering a chance to connect with nature in a unique way. And you can go ziplining above the gators. I've done that. You can get a punch card for going ziplining a bunch of times. I've done that. And then you can get a membership for the whole family. I've done that. When we first moved here, we got a membership, and it was a high value because I believe it's like $32 or something per person to go in there for one day. And then it was like 160 or something for like a 6-person membership for a year or something. And I was like, obviously I'm going to do that, because if you went like 2 or 3 times, it'd be worth it. And you can actually buy a refillable beer cup there. And if you go in there for the day, you get your beer cup, and then you go back and you get your refills with like a discount. And you can come back later with your beer cup and you can get it refilled on a completely different day. They don't mind. So they love people coming back for more. And they have a lot of people that go there to take photos because they have some beautiful birds there. And not only do they have like gators and alligators and crocodiles and snakes and reptiles and amphibious animals and whatnot, but they also have a ton of birds, because in Saint Augustine, we also, and that leads us into the lesser known attractions in Saint Augustine. We have, number 1, I want to talk to you about the Mission de Nombre. The Mission de Nombre, it's right near the Fountain of Youth, and it's also right near the downtown, and it's like on the way to the old jail museum and stuff. But the Mission de Nombre is a lesser known place in St. Augustine that people should go to, whether or not you're religious, because it is a Christian or Catholic church of some sort or whatever those Spanish people are. But it's beautiful. So if you just like to look at beautiful stuff, you should go there and walk around. They do have a giant cross, like humongous cross that is there, but they also run fairs there sometimes. I made a video there one time of their Chowder Fest that they ran one time, where we had all these restaurants from St. Augustine come to Chowder Fest, and they all brought chowder, and then we got to buy the chowder and eat the chowder and then rate the chowder and whatnot. So then everybody got to like run around and be like, we have the best chowder from Chowder Fest. So that was cool. And that was Mission de Nombre. So that's a serene site with beautiful grounds and a historic chapel. And this mission is a peaceful retreat where you can take a moment to reflect and enjoy the natural beauty surrounding you as the gentle rustle of leaves whispers tales of devotion and history. All right. And then for lesser known attractions in St. Augustine, we've got the, here we go, Anastasia State Park. The Anastasia State Park is a beautiful state park, but you can like go hiking there and stuff. And that's also another area where we have bird conservatories, and it's on the island. So it's near the gator farm, because the gator farm's also on the island, and they're kind of near each other. So a lot of the birds, they migrate down to this area, and then they can go to the conservatory. They can bounce over to the gator farm. They can go back and forth. It's really cool. Very pretty. The Anastasia State Park, I believe they're going to be putting some construction and doing some pickleball courts over there and making some sort of like a sports complex so that they can get more people to come there. So I believe they're doing that construction sometime soon, or they were voting on it or something like that. But I think it's probably going to happen. But right now, we've got miles of pristine beaches, hiking trails, and wildlife viewing opportunities. It's an ideal getaway for nature enthusiasts, where the beauty of the landscape inspires awe and adventure. There are a lot of RV parks nearby too, so if you want to bring your RV and stay for a while, I'm not sure if you can stay there. You probably can do camping there at Anastasia State Park. But here in St. Augustine, we have like a bunch of different RV camper areas where you can park and stay and all that good stuff. So call around, you'll find one. It would be lots of fun. And we also have the oldest wooden schoolhouse. It's really cute. It's nestled in the heart of the city, right on St. George Street. It's a cute, charming little schoolhouse made out of wood, and it offers a glimpse into early education in St. Augustine. It's got a really quaint setting. It's got a lot of historical significance to it to make a lovely stop for all those history buffs out there, evoking a sense of nostalgia and wonder. And then you've got your St. Augustine Distillery for a little bit of fun. This distillery, they have the liquor So I believe they have like tequila and whiskey. I'm not sure what else they have. Probably vodka, maybe rum. I went in there for a tasting. You can like walk in, do a tasting real quick, and then leave. I'm pretty sure the tastings are free. So you can pop in there whenever you want, as long as they're open, and then hopefully buy something when you're leaving. We also have a winery. So there's the Saint Augustine Distillery, but there's also the San Sebastian Winery. And the San Sebastian Winery is really cool because you can go there and they don't offer free tastings, I don't think, but they might. But they definitely have a rooftop bar. So they have a rooftop bar where you can order wine and you can order flights. And you can also order small plates. They have small plates and appetizers and tapas, but you can't get a whole meal. I actually went there one time with my friend for her birthday, and we were expecting to get dinner there, and we were sadly disappointed because we got some tapas and it was just like not enough. It was not dinner, but it was like dinner prices. It was like literally $15 or something, $15 or $20 for these like appetizers that we got. And each one of us got one and neither of us wanted to share, or we didn't want the other one or whatever. But either way, I like ate my whole thing and I was like, dude, I am so hungry still. But the San Sebastian Winery is fun and you should go check it out, especially that rooftop bar on a nice night. So beautiful. So you can discover the art of craft of distilling at the distillery, and you can join a tour and you can do some tastings. And the Saint Augustine Distillery uses local ingredients. I'm not sure about the San Sebastian Winery because I've been to a bunch of wineries and I've heard from a bunch of them that they don't do their own grapes because honestly, if you look at the San Sebastian Winery, like you're like, where do the grapes come from? Like they're not growing grapes anywhere around there. So a lot of people that have wineries will import the grapes from somewhere like California. So either way, no big deal. That wine is a little bit sweet. I found that the red table wine from the San Sebastian Winery is a little bit sweet. But then there are like some other lesser known places that you can go visit here in St. Augustine. Okay. For your wellness. You can have a couple of different civil rights sites that you can visit in St. Augustine because Martin Luther King was here back in the 1960s when they were doing civil rights movement. And there were a lot of African Americans and not African Americans that got involved with the civil rights movement right here in St. Augustine. So there are a lot of historical sites from that, including the Civil Rights Heritage Walk. There's literally a Civil Rights Heritage Walk. You can Google it, where it'll bring you to a website and you can see all the actual sites if you want to make like a list of them and go visit them and all that. It's a self-guided tour to uncover the important civil rights sites in St. Augustine. And this walk offers a powerful reminder of the city's role in the civil rights movement and its ongoing legacy, inviting reflection and inspiration. The Civil Rights Heritage Walk is really interesting when you read the stories behind these sites. I'll give you an example. There was one where it's right near the parking garage downtown, but there was some guy who was hung by a lynching mob. He was literally like lynched. Some African-American guy was hung in the middle of the day by a bunch of lynchers that were mad at him for he contacted someone to say that they didn't pay him enough money, and then he got murdered over it. Long story short. So I read that somewhere. Downtown St. Augustine. It's like some really chilling history here. There's like a lot of history here, a lot of stuff. You're like, oh my God, I would not have believed something like that even happened. But I mean, I don't believe fiction is something that somebody just made up, just saying like that happened. There's also Fort Mose Historic State Park. The Fort Mose Historic State Park was the site of the first free African American community in the U.S. It's a beautiful park, and you can learn about a lot of the history for the fight for freedom, for the civil rights movement, and it's a place of resilience and courage, offering a chance to honor the past. The Fort Mose Historic Park, very beautiful. And it's also right near the beach. I believe it's like right down near Marineland Beach. So you can go there, you can go kayaking and stuff. You can go look around. You can do a history walk and just like learn about the history, or you can go hiking, or you can go to the beach. And there's a beach right down there too. Like a real beach on the Atlantic Ocean, for real. We also have the oldest house museum complex, so you can step into the past at this historic home featuring fascinating exhibits on early life in Saint Augustine. The charming architecture and the lovely gardens enhance the experience, creating a senseless, timeless beauty. A sense of timeless beauty. And that sounds really nice. I haven't been there yet, actually. And then the Lightner Museum Gardens, the outside of the Lightner is really beautiful. And last but not least, the Florida Museum of Natural History. Now that, I haven't been there either, but you can escape the crowds, go see some peaceful gardens surrounding the Lightner Museum. No, I'm sorry. It's, where is it? Doesn't say where it is, actually. But the Florida Museum of Natural History is also in St. Augustine. It's a lesser-known treasure. It showcases the Florida diverse natural environment and has fascinating exhibits to learn about the state's unique ecosystems, offering a deeper understanding of the natural world. Very fun. And as we wrap up today's episode, I welcome you to go explore the world around you. Go to some places that you've never been before. I love going to places that I've never been. Like if I've been somewhere before, most of the time I don't want to go back. You know, like I've already experienced it. I want to experience something else. That's the balance for me. And being unhinged a little bit, you know, the art of acknowledging when you're disconnected and reconnecting. I find that when you do step off the beaten path and then you can uncover hidden gems, it's a lot more fun to get a unique glimpse into the world around us and find peace amid life's chaos. Remember, finding balance is all about embracing new experiences and nurturing your spirit. So get out there and explore. Let the beauty of St. Augustine inspire your journey. If you like the beach, go to the beach. If you like to rollerblade, go down to the Lightner Museum Gardens and rollerblade around downtown. Share your discoveries. Share with me. I want to hear about it. You can contact me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for joining me today on Balancing Unhinged. Until next time, I'm Amber Shaw, the Shaw of St. Augustine. Stay curious, explore beyond the ordinary, and keep seeking balance. Bye.